Good to see you. This is Jose Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, baby. Welcome to my studio. I hope everybody's doing great. Join me for a painting. There you go, something like that. Maybe you guys can see what I'm doing here. If you guys have any questions, I might be picking into the... I'm gonna paint a little puppy. I might be picking into the phone just to check, okay? But I just want to thank everybody who's been helping me build kinds of friends here and in YouTube. By the way, if you're not following me on YouTube, go check it out, guys. I have over 1,000 videos painting on YouTube, and I don't know if you're an artist, you might be interested in that. Maybe you're not an artist, but maybe you know an artist. You know, maybe you know an artist, and why don't you use gloves no more? I get tired of them. I get tired of using the gloves. That's the only reason. I usually, right now what I'm doing is I'm creating work more than ever in my career. That I just I just skipped that part. I skipped the glove part. But I mean, by all means, if you guys feel like you need to use gloves, go for it. Being an artist is a very cool thing, guys. Especially if you're ready for it in your life. I know it goes against all the ideas of purist people. A lot of purists come up with things like, I was born an artist, I've always been an artist. I get it, purist nerds. But not everybody sees it that way. Some of us have to work for it. I wasn't born an artist. I have to work to be an artist. From a purist standpoint, of course, I agree with you. In Picasso, every child is an artist, of course. But I'm talking about a pragmatic. From a pragmatic level, it takes practice, and it takes dedication, and it takes all of that cheesy stuff that people talk about. You don't just benefit. You don't just reap the benefits of being an artist. Just like you don't reap the benefits of being an athlete if you never practice, right? Like, you can call yourself an athlete all you want, but if you're not in the court practicing, it don't matter how much of an athlete you think you are. And it's funny because in art, people don't do that. In art, people just want the title. I'm an artist. But if this was a sport, not everybody would get the title. And the reason why it's because in sports we recognize that it takes effort, right? In art, it's the same thing, guys. In art, it takes effort. We like to think it doesn't, but it's the same exact thing. It takes effort to be an artist. It takes tremendous amount of effort to stay level-headed and paint, and then do it all over again tomorrow. There we go. You got to the point where you don't paint your hands? You're a master now. I hate getting paint. Oh, yeah. No, I still do get paint in my hands. But you know what, guys? I got to a point where I don't get as dirty as I used to. I remember when I was a kid, my brother used to tell me, one of my older brothers used to tell me that they love seeing men that master something work, right? Like someone who mastered shoemaking or someone who mastered cowboying in Mexico, right? When I was a little kid, and I always wonder why. And one day he told me, he was much older than me, about 15 years older than me. He told me it's because they do it with grace, right? And he had the words for it, right? But in the beginning, he told me it's because they don't get dirty. That's what he told me. They don't get dirty. They stay clean, right? In the process. And then time went by, and he told me they do it with grace. And I couldn't agree more. I think when you start getting to a certain level of practice, you start doing it with more. Not only there's certainty, but there is a bit of a there's a bit of grace happening. You know, you don't quite need to rush it. You don't quite need to get. If you compare this me painting now and you compare some of my videos on YouTube, just 2-3 years ago, you'll see that there's some videos where I am a complete lunatic, right? Because I'm discovering this, right? As I'm going, I'm discovering this. And then there's some videos where I dance really gracefully in some of the paintings. And the painting is not necessarily, yes, there's a quality to it when you do it with grace. There's definitely a different quality to it. But it's not necessarily that. It's the space, the mental space in which you do it that dictates the power of the painting, I think. I think it's the mental space in which you do it, you know, that ultimately will dictate, right? If that makes any sense. I'm starting a new one right now, guys, so don't go away. Those of you who are just coming along. So regardless of what it is, I think that you'll get to it. You know, if you practice enough, you will get to it. You just gotta practice, and you have to practice. The fight is, at some point, is really not the art. At some point, the fight is you. At first, it looks like the fight is the art, right? It looks that way. But at some point, guys, the fight is you. It's with you. It's not with the art. You're not really fighting the art. You're fighting you. And almost no one's going to tell you this, probably, but the artist is not trying to master painting. They're trying to master themselves. You're really mastering your own demons. I know it sounds cliche, and I know it sounds like stupid, but you're really mastering your own demons. What you're trying to do is you're trying to paint in a state of grace. That's really what you're trying to do. You're trying to observe. But most of us don't understand that. Most of us, not because we're not intelligent, but because no one talks about that. Except the very high-end artists touch on it. You know, the big gallery artists touch on it. But most people don't get to hear that. But if you're an artist, if artists really would understand what I'm trying to say here, and open their hearts to understand this, because you understand it with your heart, not with your mind. You're not really fighting to try to be a better artist. You're fighting to try to be a better human being, a more observant human being. That's really what you're doing. You are learning to fight the urge to get angry with time. That's really what the esoteric level of that is, that you're fighting to get rid of the urge of fighting time and being in the present moment. That's really what you're doing. That's what grace is. A state of grace is when you're not fighting the present moment. So when you're painting with grace, that's what you're doing. That's why you don't get dirty, because you have right action. There's enough practice for you to not be thinking about the next step. You allow the next step to happen because you're not rushing to the next step, right? You're not rushing to it. Now, it doesn't mean that you sit there and your way through the painting. That doesn't work either. You have to keep moving. But you're in a state of attack. But how can I say this? You're in a state of attack, but it's so graceful that it doesn't look like an attack. You're playing offense. You're playing defense, but it looks like you're welcoming everything. If that makes any sense. Thank you so much, Elkie says, I love your videos so much. Urem says, it's true, I have big progress now. I love that. So I just don't want people to misunderstand this. You are playing offense. You're not playing defense. Okay, when you're painting, you're not playing you're not trying to preserve. You're playing offense, but it looks, if you do it right, it looks like you have your arms open. Not necessarily, it doesn't look like offense, but you're aggressive. You're being aggressive with the paint, like a child. Try to hold. Well, I hope it's your own child, right? Try to hold their hand, right? Let them hold your hand and see how strong they are. There's an aggressiveness that a child has. This is not because they don't know better. This is because this is the way to live. It's just that we've been conditioned to not be that way. We've been conditioned to be nice, to be gentle, to be soft, to be supple. Be careful. Don't step on anyone's toes. Don't talk too loud, and on and on and on, due to socialization and other things that happen, cruelty that has happened in the world, such as colonialism and other bullshit. You know, so people want to stay in their place. People want to stay in their place. Like, how can I not hurt this person? How can I not hurt their feelings? I mean, hurt someone's feelings. It's okay. They'll survive. It's all right. Like, don't mean to do it. I'm just saying that you will hurt someone's feelings. You're probably gonna hurt your feelings, your own feelings. It's all right. Nothing wrong with that. Look at children. I see children. They live so fully. They can poop their pants and don't give a crap about it. Literally, no pun intended. They just don't care. You know, they're like, eh. They're like, what? Change me if you don't like the smell. You know, it's a very pure state of living. And I'm not saying to act irrational like that. I'm saying to be unapologetic with life itself. With life itself. I find that to be the truest way of living. If you're an artist, if you become too careful all the time, you're not going to reap the benefits of being an artist. You can't be too careful. And it's okay to be sloppy, but you don't need to be in a state of desperation. You know, you could be subtle sloppy. Yeah, you're a little bit subtle.
Subtle about it.
Yeah. Why are you bombing my video, sucker?
Because you used the word sloppy, and we were talking about the word sloppy. Remember?
Oh yeah. There it is. All right, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Talk to you soon. Peace.